Thank you for tuning in to Why Warriors. The purpose of this interview is to connect the dots between what someone does in their business with their underlying why. We like to refer to our whys as puzzle pieces. Everything that we have done that has led up to where we are today is a piece of the puzzle that makes us who we are, motivates us in our daily decisions, and is the makings of our why. We believe that to lead a life of purpose, and more importantly, to wake up in the morning, jumping out of bed with excitement about what we get to do, requires vivid clarity on your why. So let's dive in. Our guest today is Emi Kirschner, international speaker, investor, serial entrepreneur. She masterfully combines her intuitive abilities with her analytical sense to help entrepreneurs and visionary leaders build businesses that make impact while doubling revenue. She's an expert in implementing strategic, long-term plans, increasing productivity and performance while reducing stress, increasing sales by maximizing process and lead capture, building leadership and communication skills for business owners. Emmy is a Young Entrepreneur Academy instructor where she teaches 7 to 12 graders how to write a business plan and to pitch to investor. She sits on the board of FemCity Philadelphia, one of the largest women's business networking groups in Philadelphia. Emmy, so glad to have you on Why Warriors today. So excited about our conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I love, love, love Why Warriors.
So let's talk a little bit about, you are a beautiful, amazing entrepreneur, and I want to know all about what has led you to become an entrepreneur and the journey and how things have shifted for you and everything that you've gone through. What Share with us what was your first ever entrepreneurial endeavor?
My first entrepreneurial, good God, endeavor was when I started catering. Actually, it was personal chefing, and I got certified. And for those of you who aren't familiar, a personal chef will come to your house and make X amount of meals and leave them for you already in your fridge. So I did that for a little while, and that grew into catering. But my first idea was when I was 15 or 16. I didn't know how to take action on it, and I may circle back into that. And what was frustrating me at the time was we were living in this super cool town, but it had a bunch of abandoned areas where the buildings were super dilapidated, really not recoverable. And I'm like, why are we wasting space there instead of making it be so easy to make it into a park or something that's useful? So as I transition into moving into Philly in the next little bit, maybe something I come back to in the future and play with.
So have you done any real estate investments or anything like that?
No,
No.
not
So so tell us a little bit about what you do today, and then we can kind of work backwards a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. So right now I work with creative entrepreneurs who have service-based businesses. They are amazing at whatever it is that they help people with. And I help them connect the dots between what they're doing and what they're offering and the marketing and sales strategies that they need to implement to run their business so that they grow, they scale, and they're profitable without losing their mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we at The Proof believe that everybody has a beautiful and unique
Right.
gift by the composition of everything that has made you who you are today, and that's unique. So can you explain to us a little bit about what your unique gift is?
I think particularly with what I'm doing right now, it's helping connect the creative with the analytical, the intuitive, and some of the woo-woo stuff with kind of the more straight and narrow pieces that people need to understand, like knowing your numbers in your business in a really simple way that is frequently, I think, fun and playful, but is still, helping them grow.
Yeah, that's a huge gift, I think, being able to connect the left and the right brain and being able to see them both for what they are, and then stepping above it all, having the bigger vision. And you're right, like most entrepreneurs that we encounter are one or the other.
Yeah.
And usually when they're super passionate and creative, they have very little sense And it's not a weakness. It's just that, their capacity is over here.
Right.
And so you kind of come in and help balance that a little bit and give them the higher level and make sure everything is on the right track, which is beautiful.
So
Um,
thank
yeah,
you.
things are sometimes so close to you that you don't really see it for yourself,
No.
right? Yeah.
No, no, like I'm just doing my thing that comes naturally. And I think that's the case with most entrepreneurs. Whatever it is that you're great at, you presume everybody else can, just does that too as easily as you do. And that's not the case. So it's definitely taken me and other people kind of standing outside of me to be like, hello, this, not everybody does this, and does it with, flair and glitter and silliness on occasion. So
Let's talk about glitter and flair and sparkles a little bit.
yeah.
Where did all that start?
Well, it's really my inner like 5-year-old coming out. And I mean, part of my entrepreneurial journey is that like I don't want to work. I have no desire to work. So I've got to make it fun in some fashion. And not that I don't put hours in or like I'm adverse to, figuring things out in a way, but it's I want to have fun and play with it. And if I'm not filled up by it, then I don't want to do it. So my avoidance of that like 9 to 5 thing, because I haven't ever found a place for me where that's fun. It just becomes the grind. And I really like to make up my own rules. So the glitter really allows me to do that. It's like, let's just go play. And I think when your come from is from that place of play, it your outcome's a little bit different than, how do I make this like go down a certain path that looks like everybody else's.
So just for the people that are watching, I want to throw a little tidbit in here. Emmy was on our stage at the Proof, and has been like, I'm kind of a serious guy and whatever, has been kind of, super serious. And she comes in at the end of her talk, like threw glitter everywhere, and there's still glitter there, which is beautiful.
Yay
Um,
me.
but it's like you brought this like fun into our space, and to this day, it's like, we have this thing. It's like, hey, how are we going to make this fun?
Yeah.
So yeah, check out her talk where she throws glitter everywhere and shares from her heart. It's so beautiful. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And it was really the catalyst for me throwing glitter on all of the stages I'm on now. So I just carry it in my pockets. What are you doing? But even like the people who don't love glitter or like little pieces of stuff that are everywhere, are having fun. Like they're laughing. At least like, stay over there with it, but I'm gonna enjoy you having fun.
So, you mentioned the 9 to 5 grind.
Yeah.
And for entrepreneurs, it's tough. Even myself and my wife Stacy, we'll get up at 6 o'clock and get on our laptops and start working. Before we know it, it's like 7 at night. Do you draw boundaries around work, or what's the work play? How do you manage that?
I really believe in flow. So there's no like equal piece to it. And for a really long time, I felt like, all right, I had to be at my desk or my computer by, 8:30 or 9 in the
Mhm.
morning. And there are times when I wake up and I get on my computer after my morning routine. And it's, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And there's times that I work at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, but I give myself one breaks. So like I think it was Tuesday night or Monday night, whatever it was. Um, I took off and I went to the mall because I wanted to go check something for my new place. And then I came back and did a couple of hours of work and I actually felt rejuvenated. So it wasn't like, I've got to go, do this stuff. I was like all excited because I hadn't been at it for, the whole course of the day. And I know that when, like, as I'm looking at my workday and week over week, particularly, that downtime is crucial to my performance. I'm really trying to implement, like, how do I perform and maximize the results with what I'm doing? And I need brain breaks. So, like today, I'm going to go pack my house up after our talk.
So balancing and leveraging your analytical scientific side of really kind of being dialed in and tuned into what works and what doesn't. That's cool.
Yeah, and going with the intuitive piece too.
Yeah.
Like I intuitively know that I'm not going to create anything great today. I have client calls this afternoon, and I want to be present and with them. So having that couple of hours in between to go do something else where I'm moving around and not really thinking other than, does it fit in the box this way? Like, is good for me. It gives me exactly what I'm looking for.
So maybe you can share with us how maybe it's your morning routine, or you mentioned taking breaks, but give us a tip. And this is maybe I'm being selfish here, like when you've caught yourself was like, oh my god, I've been at this laptop for like 3 or 4 hours, what's something that and you have a client call coming up, like what's something that you would do to kind of re-energize yourself and reground yourself?
I do a couple of different things. Like I'll just do some deep breathing, particularly if it's really short.
Hmm.
I stretch, like I'll just get up and walk around. My morning routine consists of me walking the dogs, as does like an afternoon break. So I generally schedule half an hour to walk the dogs every afternoon, and I can move that time, but it's in my calendar. So like if I'm starting to feel kind of burnt out or just brain tired, I'll go take them out. Or I'm stuck on like I'm writing copy,
Yeah.
I'm stuck on a word, I'll go do that, and somehow everything comes together. I don't know if it's them being goofy, running through grass, or just doing something differently, but I really believe that when you're kind of feeling that like grind place or you're not feeling as creative, that changing what you're doing and how you're thinking about it makes a really big difference.
Yeah. So going back to your childhood real quick, were your parents, either one of them, entrepreneurs?
Oh no.
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 So
My
what led you? Yeah, go ahead.
my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad, for the most part, and my dad worked in corporate in like the computer industry and engineering very, very early on. And now I'm like the unicorn in the family. Like yeah, everybody else is doing the same thing, and there's me with glitter. So
So challenging the status quo.
a little bit, but I'd like to do it more. I think that's really on my bucket list for 2020 is how, and what I'm looking at in my business now, particularly as I'm getting ready to launch the Tribe of Leaders Biz School, is how do I challenge the status quo of how people look at growing their business, and and really aligning with the like work less and still grow and be profitable, and outside of the like work smarter not harder type of mantra.
And what's your typical client like today? Do you have like a niche that you like to work with?
I mean, all of my clients are service-based businesses. That
Okay.
industry could be anything right now, but they typically are, as I said, very creative, really passionate about serving other people, really passionate about growing their business. They've got that big dream, and they just need that little bit of help. Like they know they're either stuck from the standpoint of they've grown to a certain place, excuse me, where they've grown to a certain place and they're ready to go to the next level, but they're not quite sure where or what to do. Or I work with a lot of new and emerging entrepreneurs who are just trying to figure it out, and they're worried about where their next client's coming from, how they're going to create consistent revenue, etc.
So what's your take on purpose?
I
Purpose.
think purpose drives everything.
Okay.
Like if you are not connected to your why, and I've been connected to my why for years, but when we did our discovery talk, like that brought everything together for me in such a powerful way. And I think it helps reframe those moments when things aren't going well. And there's going to be times when things don't go well, and you really want to look at and like resonate with your why and your purpose, because that's what's going to help you see things differently, move over the mountain, keep you going, because on the other side of whatever it is that you're potentially stuck with is all the stuff that you're really looking forward to and excited about. And
Mm.
I think people stop too soon.
Yeah, that reminds me of this cartoon that I'm sure everybody's seen it with the miner. He's
Oh yeah.
digging, 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 and he turns back, and it was like 2 inches away from the gold. How about leadership? What's your definition of leadership?
Ooh, I love that. That's something that I've been asking on my podcast lately. So my definition of leadership is somebody who is lifting other people up and supporting them, but also at the same time allowing himself or herself to be supported by others around as well, and being in integrity and thinking, long term, and how they can help everybody, get to a better place.
So supporting others as well as being supported.
Mhm.
That's interesting. I think that's the first time I've heard somebody say that being a leader requires you accepting support from others, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you can't do it all. And if you don't have support, whether it's direct team, whether it's somebody that you're even leading, whether it's friends or family, like, you're going to burn out. And that's not effective leadership. And you're not teaching the people that you're leading how to lead or be supported either. So I think you've got to be able to do both.
So in your business today,
Mhm.
like maybe this year, can you share with us um, the one of the happiest moments that you experience as this is why I do what I do?
Oh my God, I have that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I'm on a client call and we get to even like a tiny little aha where, somebody's been struggling with whatever, and that everything clicks for them, it's like, yes, oh my God. Because they then go off and go do what they're supposed to do with so much more ease and clarity. So
Mm.
yeah, I have that at least once a week.
Wow, cool.
Yeah,
Good.
I have really awesome clients right now. And very diverse. So, I mean, I love that because it keeps my brain going in different ways, but I just love seeing them all do different things.
So, do you ever see yourself retiring?
No,
Hmm.
no. I'm sure 20 years from now, my business will look very different, but my drive to serve and make the world a better place is unending at this point, and I can't imagine not doing that.
That's beautiful. Are there any events or anything that are coming up to where people can maybe learn a little bit more about what you do, or a website or groups or anything that
Oh,
you'd like to
sure.
share?
I would invite everybody to join my Facebook group, which is the Tribe of Leaders. We have a ton of fun in there, and it's free. And I love the people that are in there because they're just supportive of everybody. So for anybody who wants to just have real community, please come hang out with us, and then check out the Tribe of Leaders podcast. Check out your episode with Dan, because that was like amazing. Um,
That was fun.
it was so much fun, but I really love who I'm getting to connect with and interview on the podcast. And everybody's story can be completely different and still have some overlap. And I think there's something to be gained from hearing each person's their challenges, their successes, what's working, what's not, who they are, what they love, and kind of implement that into your life.
So the Tribe of Leaders group, what's your big vision for that? Like if what problem can I get a solution for in your group?
Yeah, so it's mostly business oriented. And from that perspective, for me, that includes health and wellness, which we're actually focusing on this month. And it's really putting all the pieces together from a sales and marketing strategy standpoint in your business is kind of the overall um, things behind and moving me towards, growing the business, and then just some inspiration and mindset stuff, because that shows up for all of us on different levels every day.
Good. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we wrap up for today?
Come play with me. Yeah.
Good, good. Well, Emmy, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to further conversations down the line. And have an inspired and fun, sparkalicious day.
Thank you. I loved hanging out with you, and I'm definitely going to have a sparkalicious day.